I call Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I'm pleased to rise on behalf of New Zealand First to take a short call in this, the first part of the committee of the whole House, as we give consideration to the Bail Amendment Bill. New Zealand Force supports this bill. We support the broad aims of the bill and we welcome its passage through the House and into law. As I have alluded to in the earlier debates on this bill, if New Zealand First has any reservations, they would be only to say that in some certain few areas we do not believe it goes far enough. We accept that there were and are some misconceptions surrounding the bill in the eyes of the public, and that some of this may have come about because of a gap of understanding between what the public might rightly expect from such a bill as this and what this bill is able to actually deliver, and that some of that gap may have come about because of publicity surrounding the tragic events of the Christie Marceau case. As we know, there are elements of the Christie's Law petition which the Select Committee on which I sit was not able to consider because the appeal in the case was still before the courts. Because of that, and for other reasons, it remains our hope that the Government will see a need to revisit the matter of court bail again as soon as is possible to address these concerns and others which have been raised during the submissions process. We would look forward to working with the Government again on any such revisited bill. In the meantime, however, I have introduced two SOPs to the bill and I want to take a few minutes to speak about these. The first is at 334 and seeks to amend Clause 8. I quote from the explanatory note, "This supplementary order paper amends the Bail Amendment Bill. The bill added 6 more offences, including kidnapping and aggravated burglary, to the list of now 18 offences that are subject to a reverse onus of proof, which are all strike offences. But the threshold for that is still too high, as it requires the accused to have been previously convicted on one of those specified offences. This SOP proposes the bail application should not require a previous conviction. The reverse onus of proof should apply upon being charged with one of the 18 specified offences." Mr Chairman, this SOP also dovetails with my second SOP in that it specifies an applicability to persons aged 17 years and over. The second SOP, number 335, seeks to amend Clause 9 by replacing in 9.1 the words "sentenced to imprisonment" with "convicted of an offence punishable by 3 years imprisonment or more." The bill proposes that the strong presumption in favour of bail remains in place for 17-year-olds unless they have been previously imprisoned. 18 and 19-year-olds will now be subject to the standard adult tests. This SOP proposes the threshold should be lowered and based on the seriousness of the offence of the conviction, rather than being based on the imposition of a sentence of imprisonment for that conviction, which may not necessarily always have been the case. A 17-year-old's application for bail should stand or fall on its merits, rather than being strongly presumed. Mr Chairman, it is our contention that for a 17-year-old to have been convicted of such serious offences would indicate that that person was no stranger to the court system, and the imposition of a sentence of imprisonment is too high a bar in terms of their assessment for bail, given that a conviction has already in fact been entered. Mr Chairman, New Zealand First hopes that all members, particularly those from the Government side, will give consideration to supporting these two SOPs in my name, as we believe that they will strengthen and improve the bill. New Zealand First supports this bill. Thank you.
The Honourable Phil Goff.
Mr.